What? It's just me? Well, here we are. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Cup TV welcome to Big Brother coverage here on the Cup TV. I am Brook, and I am passionate about pop culture. And yeah, everybody else had something going on tonight. So you just got me. Sorry if you don't like me. Oh well. But I'm here to talk about Big Brother. I'm here to talk about our final eviction in the pre-jury before our last month of mayhem, apparently. Before we get into all of that, I am really happy that we're here for the live eviction. But we're also here 3 other times during the week talking about Big Brother, including on Mondays for the Manic Monday coverage with Logan, Waffle Wednesdays with Jack, and then your live feed Unlocked with Lana on Saturday. So all of those recordings, 3 of them are live. We usually do Unlocked pre-recorded because, it's easier. But all of those are live on throughout the week. So if you want to come and join us for any of our other coverage, make sure you just stop by and say hi. We'd love to have you. So we are off the heels of our final veto ceremony before the jury. We saw Morgan win the veto, take herself off. Ashley go up with some explosive lines of dialogue accompanying, including...
Are you done?
Oh, I'm done when I say I'm done.
Are you
Don't
done?
talk to me like that.
Icon. She's an icon. But yes, so Ashley's on the block, and we get some interesting conversations between Ashley and Keanu, and then Rachel and Keanu. And it seems a little bit like Rachel might have been trying to poke the bear a little bit with Keanu. But at the end of the day, they all were able to settle it out and hash it out on the feeds. We didn't get to see that in the episode for drama, I'm assuming. But for the most part, it seemed like Ashley and Rachel were doing everything in their power to try and make sure everything was going the right way this week. Which meant if Ashley was on the block against either Mickey or Vince, Ashley needed to stay. And that's where we were getting. We were seeing it on the feeds. We've been seeing it in the house this week. Oh, we got a comment. Hi, Mortician. Yeah. Jack is working. Esme is working. Logan is dealing with some other stuff at the moment. So everybody's busy. So I'm here holding it down today. But yeah. So we get to see some really interesting game stuff go on, mostly just Rachel making sure that Ashley's safe. The Thursday episode today, until the blockbuster, was kind of boring. I'll be 100% honest with you folks at home. But at the end of the day, we head to the blockbuster competition. Very similar to the competition that happened last season with Tucker winning, where the balls are in the big tunnel. All these balls get thrown up, and they have to, instead of just grabbing a certain color ball, they have to grab balls that match this little strip on the side of this little tube. The first person to fill up their tube that completely matches the strip wins the blockbuster and stays in the game. And it starts, and Ashley is struggling right out of the gate. This is not her competition, clearly. But it does seem like Mickey and Vince are a little bit closer. Mickey is finding balls, putting them in her bra, and then going over to the tube and just going, and just putting them right in the tube, just like that. Vince, on the other hand, his hands are bigger, and he's holding them in his hands like this while he's like pulling them out and doing basically the same thing. They're both stockpiling, but at the end of the day, one person has a lead from pretty much the beginning of the competition, and the winner and staying in the house this week, cueing the boo track real quick, is Vince. Yeah, as you are aware, the Cup is not happy about this outcome. We were rooting very hard for Mickey to win this blockbuster because Vince was going to go home next to Ashley, but here we are. So people at home, people in the comments, I hope that you all had a better time with this outcome than I did, because I didn't. We go back in the house, and everybody gives like pretty standard eviction speeches, keep me if I'm best for your game, shout out to blah, 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 whatever they're going to say on the block. We go in for the eviction vote. Vince is first. Vince votes to evict Ashley. wild. The audacity of this man. But then Rachel goes in, evicts Mickey, go to commercial, come back from commercial. Everybody else evicts Mickey. And by a vote of 6-1, Mickey is evicted from the Big Brother house this episode as our last pre-juror this season. She had a lot of lives in the house. It's unfortunate that she is out of here now, especially considering I think she would have kept Rachel and Ashley and Will and Morgan safe, but here we are. So we also need to talk about Mickey's absolute stunned reaction. Mickey was gagged when she got evicted. Like literally. Yeah, so she was not exactly. She got blindsided. Let's put it that way. Mickey got blindsided pretty hard here. Hugs everybody in the house, gives a big hug to Morgan on the way out because I think she thinks Morgan was the person that voted to keep her. Goes out to talk to Julie, and Julie's like, nope, it was Vince. And she's like, wow, I feel kind of betrayed. Then she finds out about the judges, and she's like, oh, well, that makes sense. And that's kind of just how we get to see Mickey. Mickey, no hard feelings. It's a game. It is what it is. Expect the unexpected. I got caught up, and that's just where it is. And then we get our special guest for Live Feed Unlocked, or sorry, just Unlocked on Friday, and that is, of course, Lance Bass of NSYNC fame. I know him from a lot of other stuff as well, but Lance Bass has done a ton of things across the entertainment industry. You know who Lance Bass is at this point. You definitely do. Lance Bass has a quick little interview with Julie, says Ava is his favorite contestant this season, and that's taste. And then the mastermind shows up. And I do believe we're not getting a double next week. I mean, I think two people are going home next week, but it's not the same way. The mastermind shows up and says that the house guests will soon be getting an invitation to the White Locust, with a T on the end, hotel, and that one of them will not be coming back, which seems to me to indicate that they're going straight to the jury. We're going to be having ourselves an instant eviction sometime next week. Apparently, we're going to find out more about it on Tuesday, so as far as we know, it might just be on Tuesday. So keep your eyes peeled for that episode. Now, I will say, note that it's Tuesday, not Sunday. Not exactly sure. I'm probably football. But there is something preempting the broadcast on Sunday. So this next upcoming episode of Big Brother is going to be on Tuesday, which should be pretty fun and pretty interesting moving forward as we go into the end game here. So yeah, we're wrapping up this season pretty quickly. We have very little to go. We're almost done. So I do have a question for our audience real quick. Where is your guys' head at with everything that's going on in the game as of right now? Because me personally, I have really enjoyed the season a lot. And I know it's been a mixed bag on the internet. I've just personally really liked it because I haven't really been able to call everything every week. It's just been a big mess. And those are my favorite Big Brother seasons, are the big messes. The ones where people are like, what? That happened? Yeah. So let me know how you guys are feeling as well. I, however, am going to be doing a little something because I can't just talk by myself forever. So we went ahead and prepared a little handy dandy, hit the wrong button there. Oops. Went ahead and made ourselves a little tier list here that we're going to be working on for the last little bit of this recording. So, yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking as we go. Where'd it go? No, that is the wrong button. Oops. If you can't tell, I'm a little frazzled today. I was, that's cute. There we go. Okay. So, if we go over here to our handy dandy situation over here, if it'll line up right. There we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and get this pulled up and let's get started on this little tier list. I am going to be ranking more on odds to win the game than I am on likelihood to do anything long term. So we're going to see how that turns out. So odds to win the game of our remaining players, that is, of course, in this situation, it's going to be Rachel, Ashley, Ava, Will, Keanu, Kelly, Lauren, Morgan, and Vince. So let's start with the obvious chop, Kelly. Kelly's not winning against anybody in this cast. Okay, yeah, actually, that's something else I probably should have touched on. Mortician with a really good point here. Besides, not Highbrook, the other one. There we go. I wonder when Mickey thinks Rachel is going next. I also wonder that a little bit. I think she thinks that a lot of the people that are protecting Rachel don't really care to protect her now that the jury is happening. That's just my perspective on the whole situation. I certainly hope that she's wrong, because I think Rachel has been one of, if not disappointing, if that were to be the end here as we head out. And I just realized we have the wrong background up too. Oops. There we go. Now it's fixed. Okay. So yeah, Kelly not winning the game. There's not anybody left on this cast. I think that Kelly beats in a jury vote, which is unfortunate for Kelly, because I do think Kelly is interesting, at least, which is more than I can say about a couple people that are left in the house. But her gameplay has been a chop. She will continue to be a chop in this house, and I don't see it. And I hope that someone at home sees it. I don't. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and put the person I think is an 8th, which is Lauren. I see a very narrow path for Lauren to win this season, and it's against Kelly at the end. I think there are possibly other people she might be able to beat. Namely, I think she could beat Keanu. I just don't think she's going to be able to get to the end against Keanu, unfortunately for her. I think Lauren's just going to struggle. If she gets to the end, it's going to be against somebody she doesn't want to be in the end against, and they're going to beat her up bad in that final. I can just feel it. So Lauren is in 8th for me. 7th place, I'm going to also be putting Keanu. Same thing. I think if Keanu gets to the end, he's going to be against someone he thinks he can beat, and he's just going to be wrong. I don't really see Keanu making it to the end. I think if he makes it to the end, he actually probably beats more people than people might give him credit for. But the thing is, nobody's going to take him that far. I don't see him having the win equity towards the end because I don't think he's going to make it to the end. So we'll see how that turns out for Keanu. Above him, we're going to put Vince in mid. I don't like Vince, but I do think that if he goes to the end with anybody currently on the screen, he's going to beat them. I think if Vince has a couple options here to make himself a little bit more successful. And I think the biggest thing he can do at this point is to just hope and pray that he's working with the right people that he thinks that he can beat towards the end of the season. Right on top of him is going to be Ava. As much as we love Mother Pearl and her big hat, I do wonder how Ava gets to the end. I don't think anybody's going to want to take her to the end. She's going to have to start winning more competition. She's only won the one HOH, so it is important for her to get that big comp win because she hasn't had one yet. Importantly, out of the 9 people left in the house, the only person without a comp win at this point is Will. So we'll see how that shakes out as we move forward. I think Ava beats a lot of people in the final 2, especially if one of the people she's against is in the 4 that are currently on the screen of Vince, Keanu, Lauren, or Kelly. I think she beats them all because I think all 4 of the people that have yet to be ranked will vote for Ava over them. The problem is, I don't know who's going to willingly take Ava to the final 2 if they're at a final 3. I think she beats a lot of people up, even some of the people I haven't put up yet. I think she has a better chance of beating than others. I just don't see anybody willingly taking her to the final 2. I just don't see it. So we go up to camp. That's going to be Morgan. I think Morgan has an interesting path to win, which is one, I think she beats pretty much everybody on screen. Maybe not Ava, but I think she beats everybody else. And even then, the Ava thing, that's 50-50. It just depends on Lauren and Kelly. I don't know what the hell Kelly is going to do any week. I don't think Kelly knows what she's going to do next week. So we'll see. But importantly, Morgan has the ability to beat a lot of people that are still left in the house. And I think if she manages to get through these next couple weeks, possibly a triple or a double coming up soon, we're not exactly sure which one, I think Morgan's going to be looking really nice as we move into the end game, which is my hope. Right up there beside her is going to be my queen, Ashley Hollis. I am rooting for Ashley so damn hard. I want her to win this season because I think it would be the most Gabon thing that could possibly happen to Big Brother 27. I think Ashley has been playing a really fun game because it is strategic, but it's also just messy. Messy strategy is an underrated Big Brother strategy, and it's been really fun to see pretty much everybody on this cast pull it off to some degree. Well, except Kelly. She has just been bad. Yeah, Ashley's just in a really fun spot right now. She has to hope that her side wins the HOH this week, but I think they probably will. I think if Ava wins the HOH, she's putting up Vince and Keanu, so they don't have to worry about that. The judges side of the house, and I'm going to say judges, even though Vince is kind of like tenuously connected at this point at best, I am optimistic about their chances moving into the end game. So now is the time for our top two. And it is a tough call between the two of them, but I am going to put Rachel in second. And I only say Rachel in second. I'm going to go ahead and put Will up there at end first, because I do genuinely believe that Rachel is going to struggle to get through the first two rounds of jury. If Rachel can get a foothold and make it in and keep the HOH on her side this week, those people are locked in. They are making it through. It does not matter what they do. However, if, let's say, Lauren wins the HOH or Kelly, God forbid, wins the HOH this week, they're taking the shot at Rachel and they don't care. They have nothing to lose. They already know Rachel's going to put them on the block. It doesn't matter to them. And I think Rachel is in a worse spot than we are maybe giving her credit for at this point. But I don't think she's in a bad spot by any means. Knocked over